All right, and welcome to week two, everyone. This week is your pre-production week in reality for your e-card. Um, Pre-production is one of the most important part of your project. It actually, I do believe it's the most important part of the project because this is where it's all happening. This is where it's all decided. This is where all the emotion are put in. After that, when you're done with that, you just go into production. You don't really think that much about the art before. You just do the art with the tools, obviously, but you don't decide anymore all the emotions you're going to put in and so forth because you've done that in the briefing, in the pre-production. Okay, this is why it's super important. In the pre-production, you should have pretty much three parts. One of the main part of that briefing will be the actual brief for the business itself. So who you're going to do it for, what's the product, what's the client, what's the goal, what's the target, pricing, what's the competition, all those good stuff about, that we all love, right? And then after that, you also have the story. The story is extremely important. All right, the whole setup that explained to me your e-card, the story behind it, the meaning behind it is extremely important in every of the objects. Okay, and then after that you have the storyboard, and the storyboard is the most important part, I think, because it passes on all the information needed artistically to the other member of the team, so they can convey your vision, your emotional vision, and people that will look at it after that will understand that. So this is why you need to make a very, very nice storyboard. All right. Now, for the storyboard, you need to put information like, the color palette, what colors are you going to use in numbers, obviously, but also because it's on the internet, it's RGB. Okay, red, green, and blue, color palette, but also visually, so I can see it, so the other member of the team can see actually the color you're going to be using. All right. Now, also you need to put all the art assets you need for the project on the storyboard or on a special file with it. That's very important, so you can go down the list and knock them out, and do them basically. That works very well. Now, a lot of you are going to tell me, yeah, but I don't know the draw. And that is a big drawback, if I can say that, for storyboarding, because the best storyboarding are always done with the best drawer. I can assure you of that. This is super important. Now, the thing is, you can use clip art, okay, but it defeats the purposes of a good storyboard, because the good storyboard is going to really need to have emotion and specification, customization to your need, basically, for your story. And that's something you can't really reach with just a clip art. So, I'll give you a little trick that I've used for years, actually, to speed up my work. Take pictures, Take pictures of what you want, in the position you want, in the situation you want, and then bring them into Photoshop or Illustrator, and then lock the layer. Then create new layers on top of it and start tracing. You know what I'm saying? So now you're tracing on top, you'll get some really good quality outlines, and then just fill it in with color, the color you need and what you want. And then we'll personalize on top of it your story. All right? Fit your story, basically. Okay? So, it is very important you do that this week. You do it as much details as you can. It is due at the end of the week, as usual. Please, if you need more information, do not hesitate to contact me or to post on the forum. If it is a personal question like what's my grade, or something very personal, email me directly. If it's not a personal question, if it's something like, hey, what format do we need to use, or something like that for project 2, or when is project 2 due, make sure you post it in the forum, because like that I can answer and the others can look at it if they have the same question without even having to ask. It's a lot faster for a while. All right, so that's a smart move. I do that in my project all the time. Okay, one more thing, I want you guys to give me for sure the actual size of your e-card, okay, in pixels. I like 800 by 600. I think this is a pretty fair game for every graphic card on the business. Okay. Now, it doesn't really matter with Flash, because it will actually rescale itself properly, because it's vector and not graphic. It will actually look good. look perfect. Okay, and also don't forget to put the color palette as I talked earlier. Okay, now have a good one.